Men want an open relationship until they realize their wives are the ones who are going to be getting laid, not them. Like, okay, thank you for this comment. This person said I opened up mine and he couldn't get laid. Yep, that's what happened. So many of these, it's so funny. They are so delusional, y'all. So I'm going to add a couple of personal stories to make my point. So one of my good friends is a very active member of the libertine community here in France. Not to be confused with libertarian or whatever. Libertines in France are people who are, basically swingers. They have, schmegs parties. They go to schmegs club. And one of my friends is a very active member of this. Also, just for some credentials here, I have been to a schmegs club here in France. I wrote this for the Daily Beast. I interviewed a lot of libertines for this piece, including one of the people that I'm talking about in this piece. So one of her clients, who is an American man married to a French woman, was really interested in taking his wife to the Schmegs Club. Oh, he just loved the idea of that. He's heard about these clubs. And my friend was like, do you understand what's going to happen there? And he was like, yeah. And he's thinking, I'm just going to get laid by all these beautiful women. And she was like, okay, so I need you to prepare yourself for your wife getting her this eaten out by lots of beautiful French men and eaten out good right in front of you. And you'll probably have schmegs too, and it'll be great. But are you prepared to see a lot of men please her? And you know what? He hadn't thought about that. All of a sudden, the idea of it was less appealing because men love the idea of an open relationship, but only open for them. They think, and so many of them believe, women hit a wall. No men will want us once we're, over the age of 25, or once we've had children, or even in our, 30s, 40s, 50s. It doesn't matter. We never hit a wall. Men will literally fork dead bodies. We know that now. The funeral people have been like, we don't hire men because, you know what I mean? We never hit a wall. Obviously, I'm not saying a beauty standard doesn't exist. I'm not saying ageism doesn't exist. Obviously, it does. But as somebody who wrote this article for Glamour about how my schmegs life just took off when I hit 40, I haven't had schmegs with this many beautiful men in my entire life, all combined. And then in my 40s, it was like, oh my God, wow. I wrote a whole article about it, and then was slut-shamed by the British press for that article. The Star, the Daily Mail, Cougar, all caps, the Sun, the Mirror. I even made it as the first example in the Merriam-Webster dictionary online back in 2019. Something that was not on my bucket list, but is absolutely one of my proudest moments. Probably not my mom's proudest moment of me, but my proudest moment of myself. Like 17 tabloids around the world, y'all. And what for? Bragging about younger men thinking I'm hot, being great lovers, treating me like a queen. Men were so threatened by that because they have been scaring us into dating older men who don't take care of themselves, who don't function down there anymore, who have very outdated misogynistic mindsets, who oftentimes look like crap. They've been trying to convince us that those are the only men that don't want us. And when I exposed that lie, they came for me. Because men are so afraid of dying alone. So when a woman is like, oh, I don't actually need you, I could easily get laid outside of this relationship, especially by younger men who care about pleasing me, unlike you and your entitled, lazy butt. All of these men, when they want to open up that relationship because, their wife with birth trauma, or their wife who is not satisfied with them because they're the most selfish lovers, don't do anything to please her. And the wives are like, this isn't doing anything for me. And they just kind of tap out of forking them. The husbands are like, let's open it up. And then the wives, if they're like, okay, the wives are like, oh my God, wow, I've never had an O before. Wow, it's amazing when men eat my nah. And then the husbands can't get laid. I can't tell you, just look at Reddit. Every single Reddit post that a man is like, am I the asshole? He's like, I asked my wife if we could open it up, and she was resistant, and then she finally agreed, and now I'm mad because I can only, fork my secretary at work, and now she's like, no, thank you. And then my wife has got all these lovers. Am I the a-hole for wanting to close the relationship again? Yes. Yes, you are. Because you're entitled, but thought that only you deserve pleasure in your relationship and that only you should have an open relationship. Open for you. And actually, when couples open the relationship, what often happens is the woman realizes her husband sucks in bed. And it's not that she doesn't have a schmegs drive. It's that she doesn't have a drive because who would want that? Who would want an entitled, lazy lover? But when she's getting pleased and, a man is eating her all the time, she actually does like schmegs. So not only my own personal experience and the experience of women I know, but even women on the internet will tell you, men really don't want to open those relationships. What they want is to cheat. They don't want to lose their whole family for cheating. So instead, they manipulate their wives into agreeing to something their wives don't want to do. And then they realize, oh man, this sucks for me. It's working out well for her. Now she can't unsee how bad of a lover I am. So you know what? If you're married and your husband is a terrible lover and he asks to open up the relationship, you should consider it. You would not believe how many men want to please you out there. You would not believe how many men are attracted to you. You would not believe how schmegsy you are because you've been with a man who feels entitled to you, who has exploited you, who's taken advantage of you in every possible way, and has made you feel ugly so that you won't leave him and you won't realize just how many men find you beautiful. And that is one reason why they are so pressed. Someone like me writes an article about how amazing younger men were treating me. I don't mean way younger, okay? My view around age gap has some limits. But in general, men are so afraid that women will date younger than them that they talk about the wall and they think they're going to be a silver fox and there's some sort of George Clooney. When men do not age well and their parts don't work. And if they're not good at eating this, what good are you? And they don't want us to know that. And they're counting on their wives not actually fulfilling their end of the deal and going out and finding lovers. They say they want to open it so that they can go out and fork with abandon, no consequences, get to keep their family, get to keep all of the social capital of having a family, be respected by their community, keep getting raises at work, all the things that come with being married to a woman and having children with her. All of that, wow, respect it, you know what I mean? All that, they don't want to lose that. They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to fork with any woman that they want, and they're counting on you not exploring your schmegual needs outside the relationship. But you know what? When women do, a lot of times, they leave that man. I swear, y'all. Like I said in the last video, this comment is connected to. In my experience, any woman I know who's in like the poly world or like just open relationships or whatever, that whole thing, the one thing that ruins it is entitled cishet men. Something that could be actually beautiful is ruined by the entitlement of cishet men. Well, I say call them on their bluff. They think they have all the power. They think they have the upper hand. And I swear to God, if there's one thing that I'm trying to teach on my page, is that women, we have the upper hand. We have the things that they want. They are the ones who are going to die alone. They are the ones who are desperate to have us in their lives. They just want to have us and then do whatever they want. No, women do not need men. They desperately need us. They just don't want us to realize it, which is why they talk about the wall and use like lock and all these stupid metaphors and being ran through and body count. Y'all, I don't even know my body count and I'm so proud of that. I don't know, it's probably, I don't even know, I don't care. That means I've had lots of amazing O's. And comparing other men, you learn about what you want in bed from comparing experiences. And that's why this misogynistic, puritanical, patriarchal, white supremacist culture is obsessed with purity, virginity. Women don't realize our inherent worth.